conversations. And Baker Tilly has a comprehensive managed services offering that's really designed to enhance the support that you get from IFS by making sure that your application is running as intended. If there are issues, then those are addressed in a quick and efficient manner. And also, to ensure that your system keeps up with your business as it evolves over time. So we are grateful for Tato Snacks, one of our long-standing customers, for being here today to talk about their experience of partnering with Baker Tilly and the value that they've been getting from our support services. So just some quick introductions. My name is Laurent Horvath. I'm a business development manager at Baker Tilly's IFS practice, and I'm joined by Michael McGinn, IT manager at Tato Snacks. Michael, thanks so much for being here today.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Just a very high-level agenda of what we'll talk about in the next 30 minutes or so. I'll start by giving a brief introduction on Baker Tilly, who we are as a firm, the services that we provide to our clients, with a specific focus on our IFS practice, of course, and our support services. I'll then hand it over to Michael to introduce Tato and the partnership between our organizations over the years. And then to cover, the benefits they've been getting from working with our support organization. So who is Baker Tilly? For those of you that might not know us, as a firm, we turn over approximately 1.2 billion pounds annually. We have nearly 7,000 members worldwide, and those people who know us, most of the people who know us will know us as a CPA firm, as a financial services and accounting firm. That's really been our bread and butter historically. But over the last few decades, we built out a fairly significant consulting branch in the company, and over 1,400 professionals work in that field today. Within that consulting branch, we have a division that's focused on delivering digital services specifically, and it has a number of practices that collectively can really deliver sort of an end-to-end digital transformation capability to those of our clients who need that support. It really starts, it can start from the beginning. We have a team a digital strategy team who can help formulate the right strategy for your organization depending on your needs, and then come up with the ways to implement those. We have a cloud services team who can advise on what the best cloud strategy might be for your various applications, and we provide hosting services as well. Data solutions, I think today everyone understands the value in your data. We have a dedicated team who can help unlock that. We have professionals who can help formulate the data strategy and then implement that for you as well, bringing together information and data from disparate systems, not just IFS, but other third-party applications that you might have in your organization. We have an application services team who can develop custom applications, and finally we have an enterprise solutions practice, and our IFS practice sits within that. We can help select the right applications for you, implement those, support them, and also host them. Today, someone asked me, what differentiates Baker Tilly, and one of the things I mentioned and highlighted was, the capabilities and the value we can bring to the table through these practices that we have within our wider digital team. I think that sets us apart, from a lot of the other partners, organizations, who want to truly transform their companies, the way they operate. They can come to us, and we can provide a holistic sort of approach to help them improve. Now, zooming in a little bit, so our IFS practice, the foundation of it really, I think, is our consulting teams, because we have a functional and a technical consulting team with experienced professionals coming from different industries and having real life experience bringing to the table. Our technical team, quite sizable, experience in data migrations, integrations, upgrades. These are the teams and professionals who deliver our implementations, re-implementations, upgrades, and optimization projects. So that's kind of the foundation. Continuum is a service that was designed to provide continuous improvement as a service, CIAAS. Didn't have the same ring to it as SaaS, so we just named it Continuum. But it's kind of just a vehicle really to give you access to our consulting professionals and help you make enhancements to your IFS system as they come up. And I'll talk about it in a bit more detail on the next slide. We have a dedicated support team. They are ring-fenced from our consulting team, which is important because that really allows us to hit our SLAs and make sure we always have people available to pick up the tickets that are submitted to us. And again, I'll discuss in a bit more detail how that works on the next slide, and Michael will also talk about that. ALE stands for Application Lifecycle Experience. If you were listening earlier today, Sean Connor had a session, talking about all the release updates and service updates. It's really only relevant for those of you who might be on IFS Cloud already. This service helps our clients sort of verify and apply those regular updates from IFS, which is just a more involved process than what you might have been used to in earlier versions of the solution. So yeah, it's another managed service that we provide. Lastly, we offer hosting, and I'm usually corrected when I say that by our technical director. We don't host the solution. Microsoft Azure does the hosting, but we provide the managed service around it, so we manage all that setup for you and take away that pain and responsibility. So my last slide before I hand it over to Michael to talk about our partnership. Just wanted to get a few more thoughts across about how we approach support, and fundamentally we look at two things, right? Number one, we want to make sure that your application that's been deployed and implemented for you is running as it should. What's been implemented, should not have any issues. If there are, we're there to pick those up and help you. The service that we provide to achieve this goal is called Structured Support. It's designed to complement your in-house support teams. And we can work in many different ways. Some clients want us to be their, full support partner, picking up first, second, third line tickets, everything straight from their end users. While others, they might prefer to triage their tickets first and then only pass the more complex ones over to us. So we're flexible depending on what your needs are. We can work with you accordingly. It is a fully SLA-driven service. I mentioned the dedicated team that we have. They're there to provide a 24/7 coverage for our clients who need that. But again, we're flexible on that as well. A lot of customers, they might just have an 8x5 UK business hour sort of coverage. One differentiator on the support side is that it's a fixed fee, unlimited support model. So this is in contrast to what many of our competitors or many of the other partners provide, the power by hour type service. We offer this to help with budgeting, right? So there are no hidden costs. We look at what your potential demand will look like. We come up with a quote, a price, which we fix for 12 months, so you know what to expect. There are no hidden charges there, and you can have the peace of mind that no matter what IFS will throw at your way, Baker Tilly will be there to support you. Yeah, so that's structured support. That was one of the key objectives. The second key objective is, I mentioned that as well, to help make sure that your system keeps up with your business as it evolves. Obviously, you might have changes in your processes, your system needs to be amended, some new configurations might need to be put in there, some new developments. So Continuum is really there to help with those smaller sort of enhancements that you might come across. The way it works is, we work with our clients to determine what number of hours they might need consulting support during the year. We look at what initiatives they might have in the pipeline and kind of come up with some estimates. We then agree the number of hours, and our clients can call those off as and when they need them at any pace they want. And regardless of that pace, they'll still be invoiced in 12 equal installments. Once again, this helps with budgeting. Again, there are no hidden costs there, and the key benefit of Continuum is that it helps you get away from that request, quote, approve cycle that can take up a lot of effort and time for both us and the customers. You just submit a ticket, and we schedule in the right resources. Continuum provides you with access to all our consulting professionals, whether they're in our functional team, technical team, or in project management as well. Yeah, these two services kind of go hand in hand together, but it's important to call out that they are available as standalone services. There are customers who might have, sizable in-house support team, and so they might not need support, but they still require some specialized consulting services, and they can just go for Continuum, and vice versa. Yeah, so that was my wrap on that. Michael, let me hand it over to you to talk about Tato.
Thank you. How you doing? Just a couple of slides. I'm going to do it reasonably quickly. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the company Tato. I'm going to talk a little bit about our IT department, a little bit about our history with IFS, and then finally where we are with IFS and the future as we see it. So a little bit about Tato. First thing, just worth pointing out, there's a Tato in Southern Ireland and a Tato in Northern Ireland. They're totally separate entities. Okay, so we're talking about Tato in the Republic of Ireland. So we're the original Tato. We started in 1954, and in fact we were the first company to actually sell cheese and onion flavoured crisps. I was checking Walkers there in 1967 or something like that. So we had 330 employees roughly. We're 95% branded sales. We don't do own brand for the Morrisons or the Tesco's of this world. 95% of our stuff is branded sales. Those are our main brands down at the bottom. We'll talk about KP in a minute. We operate from a single site. We used to have 2 production sites in Ireland. Now we have 1 in Ashbourne, which is close, about 20 miles from Dublin, 10 miles from Dublin Airport. And that's all our production and all office staff are based. We use a third-party logistics company because we actually outgrew. We had a van sales operation, plus then for the larger customers, we had a delivery service. We outgrew it, so we now outsourced all our sales all our distribution to a third-party logistics company. We're owned by Intersnack, which you probably not heard of, but Intersnack are Europe's largest crisp and peanut company. Put it in context, they're bigger than PepsiCo, which obviously own Walkers and Lay's, which you would know, but Intersnack as a group are bigger than them. They also own KP Snacks in the UK. So we're about 140 million turnover, KP are about 700 million turnover, just put it in context. Some rough statistics on our business, I suppose we do about 9,000 orders per month. We have a field sales guys, with about 65 guys in the field who have laptops which tablets should I say, which take orders. Those orders come into us. We're day 1, day 3. They're sent over to Primeland, which is our logistics company. They pick the following day and deliver it the following day. We have 2% of our invoices are via EDI, but those 2% of invoices account for 70% of our pick cases, because they're the Tesco's central distribution, Musgrave central distribution, plus some of the larger ones such as Aldi Lidl. And then 3% are manual. So we produce about 16,000 pallets per month of about 150 different products. That jumps up and down, changes a little bit. And 70% of our invoicing is done via EDI. So if the rep takes an order and it comes through our system, we don't have to touch it, and it runs all the way through our system, and it's invoiced as an EDI invoice maybe 4 days later. And as I said, about 140 million turnover. So I've been with Tato since 2007. I joined in September. They put in IFS in April. We'll come on to that in a little while later. So I inherited a big bag of wool. That was what, in essence. So I have about 30 years experience in the food and drinks industry, poultry, drink, and now crisps. We have a very small IT department. There's only 3 of us. Plus we've got one additional contractor for 2024 coming in to do a specific role because of a group requirement from Intersnack that we have to roll out to every user. So we're not a big team, which I suppose comes on to we outsource and manage our partners such as Baker Tilly. We have another company that we use for our our ordering system. We manage them, we don't do the development in-house. So we're a small team, core team, relying on managing the business process. So we rely very heavily on our service providers. So we've been running, as I said, we put in IFS in April 2007, and it's one of those ones where if you were to take all the times that you should not put in an ERP system, we ticked every box. We can go into the history of it, but for various reasons then, within April 2007, and I joined in September 2007, and I spent about the next 2 years unraveling and trying to make the system work because it was a smaller company bought a bigger company, 40 million bought a 50 million, but there were completely different business animals, there were separate systems on IFS, so it was a very challenging implementation, and I inherited the bag of wool and I had to sort it out. So I was working with it for about 2 years, and then we really wanted to put in the manufacturing modules, which we hadn't put in. And I was at this UK this conference in about 2009, and we were at that stage. We had sorted out our distribution, stock, all that was running reasonably well, and we wanted to put in the manufacturing modules. But the company who implemented it in Ireland, who were the Irish distributors for IFS, they didn't really have any experience of manufacturing, which is where we came over here. We were looking for somebody to talk to, and I met this man called Andy Bell from Vanilla. Do you all know Andy? Andy was the original founder of Vanilla. So I met him here and at the bar, and we had a conversation, and then he said, "I'll come over and chat to you." So he came over, and what I really liked about when we got talking to Vanilla, Baker Tilly, who are now Baker Tilly, is that he came in and he looked at what we were doing, and he says, "Well, you could do it this way, you could do it that way, you could do it that way. I know what you want to do, you can do it that way, that way. This is the way you should do it." And we went down that route, and we never regretted it. So as part of that, we put in shop orders, bills of materials, we put in our MRP, and then we integrated it back to a pallet labeling system that we had, which we then used for backflushing of raw materials usage and gave us our finished goods update. So that project was a really good success, and we liked the way Baker Tilly worked. We liked how they linked in with us. So rolling on then, we continue to use our local supplier for some aspects of IFS, and we continue to use Vanilla or Baker Tilly for other IFS support issues. And we wanted to then upgrade. We were running apps 7, and we wanted to upgrade to apps 9 in 2017. So the local Irish support company didn't have no experience of apps 9. So we had to go out to the market, go and have a look and see who could do it for us. And we looked at various suppliers and settled on Baker Tilly. So that was a 12-month project, in which IFS obviously did technical upgrade, and then Baker Tilly worked with me. I think this is our marketing person who wrote this. Baker Tilly did all the business process mapping and upgrade. I think we did a little bit of work ourselves as well. But anyway, I saw that live thing. Anyway, but actually it's a 12-month project. It went really well. What was really good about it was, I remember about 3 days after it went live, one of my operations equivalents company said, "I thought you were going live on apps on IFS over the weekend." I said, "We did." I didn't even notice. It just all happened. So it was fantastic. So, and we had no, as I said, we had no adverse impact on the business. We shut the business down on Thursday, if you like, but business continued to operate in the background, shut all the linking systems. And on Sunday morning, we turned it on about 12 o'clock, and by 5 o'clock, we were back up to date. So Monday morning, everybody came in and was working as normal. So, since then, obviously we needed to support our apps 9, and everything is basically moved to Baker Tilly. So what did they do for us? So since 2018, daily monitoring. They check our system every day, they come back and say, "You've got a problem with this," and in most cases, yeah, we know that. We've already picked that up. Or, yeah, we'll have a look at that ourselves. Or do you want us to look at it and then investigate further for us? We have a day-to-day support issues. We just log anything we want with them. That could be, how do we do something? Can we do something? We need to do something. Some stuff is obviously simple enough. We try and streamline it through IT so that at least we get rid of any noise, from people, user rooms for that to log in or whatever. But anyway, and then some of that stuff, that's day-to-day support issue, we'll actually move into the business process change, because there might be a business process change. So that will go into development requirements, which comes onto the continuum contract. So we have a continuum contract with Baker Tilly. So we buy X number of hours per annum. I can't actually remember the figure. I think it's actually about 128 at this stage. And what we do then is, if there's small stuff, we push it through continuum, because I've already negotiated that deal. It's as Lauren just pointed out, I don't have to go off and get a SARE raised and go through all the process internally. So we just use it off the continuum. If it's a larger type of development, then we probably take it out of continuum and we put it in as a separate project itself, just so that we can monitor it. But it works very well for us. As I said, it's just it's an annual thing, so it just rolls. It can flex up and down a little bit. Well, obviously they like it to flex up and down, but you know yourself. But it normally flexes up a little bit if we need it. And then we have a monthly review with our customer support manager, because to ensure the business process changes are progressing, if they're happening, reviewing the support calls, making sure that the priority ones that need resolution. And the good thing they also do for us, which is the last one, which is managing IFS support tickets. I think we've had about 3 or 4 since we went live in 2018. Normally around Demand Planner. I don't know if anybody here uses Demand Planner. It's a part of IFS, but it's slightly outside, and getting support on it can be a challenge even within IFS. There only seems to be a small number of people who know anything about it. So, but they'll manage that for us, which is great, because some of that stuff can take a while, and it's good to outsource to that. So that's where we are, and now we're on Apps 9. We've been there since 2018, September 2018. Next stage is cloud. We'd like to go to cloud and put it in the cloud. That's probably the 2025 project. Lauren's been pushing me to start it at the end of this year, of course, yes. But we're a bit, at the moment we've gone through about 3 or 4 major projects with Intersnack, our parent company, and we're a little bit fatigued, and we're kind of going, look, just leave us alone for a little while. We have to get a couple of projects over the line, finished, and then maybe we'll look at this. Probably Q1 next year, Lauren, probably. Relax, yes. So that's it. Questions?
What's your favourite flavour, Chris?
Ooh, I'm going for the standard one. Cheese and onion, probably. Yes, crisps. Cheese and onion is actually, it's the Irish. I think, is it in the UK as well? Sorry, is it the standard one in the UK?
Salt, pretty solid.
Solid, yeah. Potato, cheese and onion is probably the standard flavour in Ireland. There's salt and vinegar, and there's a prawn cocktail. They're the 3 main brands that I can think of. Toledo, is there a 4th one? I think that's probably the three main ones we have. But we bring out odd ones. Like we just brought out one, which I'm going to give Lauren. Monster Munch. I think it's the Walker's Monster. Yeah, pickle. So we've now launched, and we do this every year. We throw something in. So we've got a crisp, which is Mighty Munch is the Irish equivalent of Monster Munch, but it's basically the same flavour. So we've got a Mighty Munch flavour crisp, which I've only got a few packets of, because it's only a limited edition. And they did it last year as well, and they brought out something which was horrendous. I can't remember, but it tasted horrible. And somebody was saying to me, "Why did you just do that?" And I said to him, "What are you talking about now? Your new brand?" I said, "Yeah." So sometimes they throw ones in that that definitely are not going to work.
I do have one more question.
Yes.
Do you make ketchup flavored crisps?
No.
Has
No.
anyone ever had
Firm
ketchup
no.
flavored?
Yeah.
Well, I think Walker do, didn't they?
Walker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think there's about 5 flavours that really work in Ireland, and the rest you might do them on occasion, but they're noise. You just wouldn't get the volume for a year.
Awesome. One last thing, just a bit of a promotion. please take a photo of this, and if you scan the QR code, you can check out some of our short videos that we made about some integration developments that our technical team has delivered. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you.